need a mic for this. And a joystick might help too. Just getting all the goodies together. Alright, nice. We got a picture. Just mute that on my end. Alright, we are good to go. Welcome everybody in the future who's rewatching this, if you're rewatching this. If I don't get copy striked again. So what we're going to be doing today is clean up the rest of the grass clippings that I left behind earlier. We're going to be using this new wagon. You haven't seen this wagon yet. This is actually going to be in Monday's episode. So, just like a little sneak peek for y'all. This is from the new Alpine DLC pack. Or the Hillside Mowing pack, I should say. And I got this because it's just the right size to handle jobs like this where it's a bit of a hilly terrain, but it's not too steep. For the really steep stuff, I got the smaller equipment. You know, it's much more suited to climb the hills and stuff. I'll go ahead and start over here. Anyway, we started a new month. It's September now, which means we can finally get started on some of the harvests. First up is the grape harvest, I think. And I was doing this because I was just waiting for a little bit more daylight before I could record that video. Which is not going to be Monday's video, but the Monday after that. But yeah, it seems like there's enough light now. However, now I still got this grass that's still laying around here that I want to get rid of first, you know. Tidy up. So. What I've also been noticing is if you're using pedals in this game, yeah, I suppose it depends on the kind of pedals you have, but I suggest you use cruise control all the time, as much as you possibly can. Like in situations like this, you can see in the bottom right that I'm actually using it. And the reason you want to use it all the time, the reason I say that is this is my third set of pedals that have gotten some sort of glitch in the sensors where it detects input that isn't there. So it assumes that you're pressing a pedal that's not there, and that just happens after a long time use. And I play a lot of Farming Simulator with these pedals, and my house is rather dusty, especially around the floor. So dust gets into the pedals, and then it's on the inner workings, and the sensors kind of get messed up. So to prolong the life of your pedals, use cruise control. That way you don't have to press them all the time, you know, when you're driving somewhere. Like this right now, it's doing this itself. I'm not pressing the pedal at all. See, and now it just stops. So yeah, I tried cleaning them, but I wasn't able to fix the problem in such a way that it didn't come back. It came back, so I'll try using like compressed air on it again. And if the problem keeps persisting, I'm going to be in the market for a new set of pedals. And I might get something different. I might get those Thrustmaster things that are usually for planes. But then I'll have pedals that go front and back, and I don't know if I want that, even though it might be fun for a machine with tracks, I don't know. So I'm still thinking about that. There was a mod maker a couple of farming simulators ago, FDR. I'm pretty sure he still makes mods and streams and stuff. He's big into logging. And I got to play on a server for a little while, so I got to know him, kind of. Jordan, he's a great guy. And makes a lot of content, has his own little community, and with the logging and everything. It's really awesome work that he's doing. He's really pushing the other modders to make better stuff. So he's an all-around stand-up guy, but the reason I mention him is his setup, because he was also using the Thrustmaster pedals, if I'm not mistaken, as well as the same joysticks that I have. They're great joysticks, also by Thrustmaster. But I'm pretty sure he wasn't using a wheel. I'm pretty sure he was using the pedals and they were set up for a track machine because of all the logging stuff he did, you know, American style logging. He used track machines more often than not. So what he would do is his left pedal front would rotate, like it would steer all the way to the right. So then a track machine, you know, like in real life, if you move the left track forward, it turns to the right. And then the right pedal did the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So what would happen is, if he pressed both pedals, he would go straight. If you press the right pedal, he'd turn left. And if you press the left pedal, he'd turn right. It was a really ingenious way of setting that up, because it was very realistic for track machines. Of course, if you got anything with a steering wheel, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. But he was, like I said, he always got somebody else on the server to drive the skidders and the trucks and stuff like that. And he was always in a loader or a processor or a buncher. And that worked out wonders. And then to reverse, he just had to press both pedals backwards, I think. And that's what did it, so. Yeah, he made it work. And that in combination with the joysticks, like, because that meant he could always be on the joysticks and never have to touch a steering wheel like I do. And that way his movements and the loading and everything looked very realistic. Looked like an absolute pro at the game. It was always admirable to watch him work. I do wonder if he still makes mods. I think he does. I checked out the site not too long ago. Happy for him. Hope it's all going well. So see, that bunker, I just filled that up the other day. That's actually going to be part of Monday's video. And at the same time, I cleared out this bunker. There wasn't too much left. I used a wheel loader to clean that out and transport all the stuff to the silos at the rail side. So now we can fill it up again. Freshly loaded up with some grass. Now then, of course, this stuff, when it gets fermented, like with the white blanket over there, you ferment it, and then it turns in, you know, you can turn it into cow feed, you can sell it, you can do a whole bunch of things with it. You can chuck it in here and they make biogas, you know, they turn it into biogas. I keep forgetting to refill on that additive. I need to do that. So that little meter in the bottom right says 5%. I'm gonna have to fill that back up. That's an additive, and I don't know exactly how it works. Supposedly it inflates the grass a little bit, but it makes it so that you get more volume from the grass that you pick up. Bon Silage is the name. And I have no idea how that works in real life, but the fact of the matter is there's a tank on the front of that little wagon. You see that tank underneath the Faro text right there? And that tank, you can fill that up with additive, and that helps you with your yield. It improves your yield somehow. So I'm not questioning it, I'm just doing it. I got a couple pallets of the stuff back at the farm, so we'll go there first. I'm thinking of replacing this setup. Not the tractor, I have plenty of jobs for the tractor, but getting like a dedicated grass loading setup. And maybe I'll get like the Fendt tractor and trailer or something, and then we'll just use that for loading non-stop, because I have a lot of meadows now and a lot of grass to collect. And I need something medium-sized like this, which is agile enough to get up and down a hill with plenty of power, while not being so large that it, you know, tends to topple over and looks unrealistic. Because in Switzerland, you're very limited in how much weight you can take up the hill with you. See that pallet right there? That's what we're going to use. See, now we fill up the tank with that. Bon Silage. And you see the little boxes actually disappearing, which I think is just adorable. But yeah, it's just 10 liters, and it goes a long way. It just really helps you. Look at that, reversing everybody. Check that out. That's someone with thousands of hours of experience right there doing that in one go. Yeah, I might pick a Fendt for that, or if I can get the red futuristic looking Lely loader wagon from the previous games, if I can get that in somehow, then I'll hook a nice Massey tractor to that, and that'll be my mowing setup, or my loading setup. And what's best about that loading wagon is I can also deploy that for the corn harvest, which right now I don't really have a dedicated setup for that. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't necessarily have a dedicated setup to it for it. Like, I mean, I have tipper trailers that I can use for that, but having a dedicated grass loader really sets it up for chaff as well, which you get from the corn. So, no, that would definitely work out for me. Anyway, I can see I got some people watching right now. Feel free to say hi if you feel like it or don't, but happy to see you're here, and hope you're having a good time. Hope you're having a great night. I talked about this last time. I understand why they don't do it, but sometimes I just wish I could see the names of the people watching so I could just personally tell them hi, you know? At least call them that. I really like the sound of this tractor. It's nice and meaty. You want a meaty sounding engine on your tractor. It just sounds like power, you know? So see, there's some really fast-moving rollers at the bottom there. And it uses that to just scoop the grass up off of the ground. It's just above the ground, those rollers. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you can also adjust the whole wagon, like move it up and down and stuff. To make it connect with the ground a little. We're almost full again. It's going quick. See, and then it kills me to see that we could have gone one more run without refilling on that silage additive, you know? It's like, ah man, I wasted time. I wasted 5%. 5% would have been enough, you know? Because it only uses... No, wait, that's 7% actually. We didn't have enough. I made the right call. But yeah, about the pedals, I've yet to look up what options I have. I know a lot of these peripheral items for games like this are hella expensive. Which has always been so strange to me, because you get a little piece of plastic, you know, that can move 4 ways. And then you put a sensor on it to make it detect, like, you know, how much input there is. And boom, that's like $250 right there. Like, why? Why is it so expensive? Because even though I don't do soldering or anything like that, like, the circuitry seems trivially easy. I've taken these devices apart too and they stop working. Like, they don't look that complicated at all. It's not like a computer, you know. Just imagine that for the same price of a joystick or a set of pedals, I should say, like, you could get an entire motherboard. Motherboards go for like 150, good ones. That's crazy, man. I think it's just because of a niche. That's what I think. I think it's just because not that many people want it, you know, because everyone and their mother wants a motherboard. You know, because every computer needs one at the very least. And there's chips and all that other stuff in there, so you mass produce it, You know, you make a lot of it, keep the cost down. And then you have joysticks, which, you know, who uses joysticks? Okay, people in Farming Simulator, and even that, like, barely anybody that plays Farming Simulator actually wants joysticks. Like, I know a lot of people have them, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, it might be, I want to say, it might be like 2 to 7% maybe of players have joysticks, one or more. And then there's Flight Sims players, which there might be more Flight Simulator players than Farming Simulator players. I'm not sure about the statistics on that. But yeah, those two groups, and then there's not really anybody else who uses it. I don't know if there's a a Funfair Claw Crane simulator. But even if there was, I don't suppose people who play that would be serious enough about it to warrant buying $110 worth of extra equipment for it. And it's not like it has a lot of extra uses. You couldn't exactly play a shooter game with the joystick. I mean, you could, but you couldn't win. And that's not a challenge to anybody, by the way. I'm not expecting anybody to go, nah, I'd win, and just try it. Like, don't go playing Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six Siege with a joystick. You're gonna have a bad time. It's gonna be an awful experience. So yeah, that's what I think. I think that's why these things are so expensive, because there's just not a lot of people buying them. So to manufacture one, you know, it takes a lot of money, which you want to make back out of the few people that buy one. I will say they are quality. Thrustmaster T16000M joysticks that I have 2 of them, and I bought them for Farming Simulator 2015. Imagine that. It's like 8 years ago that I bought them, because I was playing in 2016. I remember the year I had just started. I was playing Truck Simulator all the time. I was, you know, on the multiplayer. I was in one of those virtual trucking companies that they had. You know, and this was before ETS2 made their own multiplayer. This was like the modem multiplayer that everyone was crazy about. I have a couple of videos from that on my channel still, if you want to go look it up. It was crazy, because the whole map will be empty. And then on one road between Calais in France and Duisburg in Germany, between those two places, there'd be like 1 2-lane road, like the one I'm driving on right now. And it would just be like one big traffic jam. There would be so many people on that single road, and that's it. And like, it started off as being in the beginner area, so, you know, even the people that didn't have the DLC had that road, so everyone came across it. And then it got a reputation for being busy, so everyone looked it up, like, and everyone went there just to, you know, like, they would take trips from either one of those 2 cities to the other one just to be on that road, just to be around where all the people are and not to drive in emptiness. So there were always collisions and admins trying to keep control of people everywhere. Like, there was always something going on there. It was always interesting. And I have a video of that I'm actually in a traffic jam. I believe I was using a pink truck at the time. It was like a mauve, a breast cancer truck. That's like the breast cancer support truck. I was using that, a Volvo. And I made a whole deal about going through there without any damage, which was rare at the time, because you'd always, like, the parts that weren't one big traffic jam would actually have people flying with these trucks, right? They would drive way too fast. They would overtake around blind corners, dumb stuff like that. And so you would always run into 1 or 2 of these idiots that would just completely total your truck, and have to start over. Have to get towed. You know, that was game over. See, and don't get me wrong, I don't miss those days, because the ETS2 multiplayer as it is now from the game itself is objectively better. You can create lobbies with just the people that you want in there, and excuse me, it's not a bunch of randoms anymore. So, you know, there's less griefing. It's a more fun experience. You can match loads. And by that I mean you can take the same load going to the same place, so you can buddy up, you know, as a convoy. It's nice. ETS2 is a great game, and it keeps surprising me how much they keep improving it, even after all these years. It's like 12 years old at this point. I mean, that's one way of doing it. The other way is what Farming Simulator here does, where they release a new game every few years with a few improvements. Which isn't bad to say. I mean, the graphics always look better. And it has been a while since the last game that came out, because this is 22. Before that we had 19. Before that we had 17, 15, so it was every 2 years. And because of coronavirus, it became 3 years. But if it is 3 years, then we're overdue. Like, then it's time for a new one. Then we should be getting Farming Simulator 2025. Which we could, but I don't feel I need it right now. You know, I don't feel like I need a Farming Simulator, a new Farming Simulator game. Like, this one is fine. I'm having a lot of fun in it. It looks gorgeous. And I'm about to release my 100th episode of this very farm. Weekly episodes. In this game. Which is awesome. And I'm still having a lot of fun playing it. But yeah, if they came out with a new one, then I would play the new one, and I would stop making videos in 22. I would start making videos in the new one, 25, I suppose. And that would be fine. Of course, the map would still be the same. I just love this map. I love playing. I've been to Switzerland exactly once in my life, and it was amazing. It was the best vacation I've ever had. And I actually drove through countrysides like this. I mean, from a distance. I would have been on the main road, you know, over that way. But yeah, I would see these mountains, these hills. I remember I used to tell people, like, even the cows look happier in Switzerland. It's amazing. It's so peaceful. People are all friendly. Everyone's easygoing. When you drive, too, no one's in a rush. You know, no one passing each other, being an idiot on the road. Just all nice and gentle. Highways have exactly one speed everywhere. And everyone drives that speed. Everyone drives to the limit. Nobody speeds. It's gorgeous. Very nice place to be in. And it was great for vacations. I can't imagine living there. I just really can't. Oh my god. You become so laid back. Yeah, they definitely seem to have it together in Switzerland. But yeah, as I was saying before, the heavy equipment like this is about the max that you could take up into the hills there, I think. Now, I live in the Netherlands, which is pretty much flat everywhere. And it has a lot of ground devoted to agriculture as well. So what they do here is they actually take the really, really big tractors, like I'm talking like the 600-700 horsepower Fence and New Hollands and everything, like the stuff that barely fits on our tiny little roads, and they hook the biggest, baddest wagons to it just because it's all flat. There's no hills to climb, so you can just maximize your tractive power, and that way you can like be really efficient. So they really put it onto efficiency here, but the result is that they have some seriously large equipment. So while this combination that I have right now, this combination initiation, while this is probably the biggest you're going to see in any part of Switzerland that's not flat, it is tiny compared to some of the stuff that you see here. Like a lot of smaller farms will have this, but then the bigger farms will have stuff twice the size. It's crazy. That still doesn't come anywhere close near what they have in the USA, though. Those tractors are humongous. All the equipment it's really big. But then they also have like the cornfields that are, how do they say that in the States? It's like, yeah, this cornfield is so large it covers about 75 football fields. Like that's the unit of measurement there, I think. football fields. But yeah, they have the really large cornfields where you can't even see the other side of it. Those people are incredible. They just get up, you know, and around 6 a.m. they hop in the combine, and that's their whole day, and then they just go till 11 at night or something, you know, something crazy. And then the only reason they pull the combine is to service it from all the dust. And then they just keep going the next day and then over again. Harvesting season over there is seriously hardcore. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this baby for a second and hook up that other trailer. I'm actually not supposed to use this tractor with that trailer because, like, you can see that it's clearly bigger and made for a heavier tractor. It's actually made for my T7, but my T7 is way up the mountain on a logging job right now. So we're gonna have to make do. Alright. And all we gotta do is take this to the... yeah, I want to say the sell point, but it's more like a transfer point. There we go. Close these. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it has the steered axles as well. It actually pulls it just fine. I'm surprised. It's quite a lot of weight I've got in there. But then again, this tractor is called the Warrior. Yeah, it gets up to speed just fine. I am noticing on a return trip we'll have to stop for fuel and a bit of maintenance though, because I see my bars on the right like starting to empty. But that's okay, we can do that on the farm as well. You see that little shed in the back there? By the conveyor belt? That's my workshop. I got a fuel tanker there too. See, and that's realistic because you don't want to put the fuel tanker right next to where you live. Because, you know, worst comes to worst, it could explode. So I really tried to go for a realistic feel here and put the fuel tanker all the way on the edge of the property. See, this right here, it just assumes I'm pressing the pedal, which I'm not, and it takes off on its own. Very frustrating. Yeah, no, it handles this wagon fine. I'm surprised. I thought it would struggle way more with this trailer, but it's not struggling at all. This. And then you think it would tip, but it has a conveyor belt on the bottom. There we go. Alright, now let's get some fuel and let's perform some maintenance on the tractor. So we're in September now. The next month, October, we're going to harvest all these sugar beets. You see all these fields over here? These are 4 fields full of sugar beets. Now, I don't know if you know anything about sugar beets in this game, but they take a good long time to harvest. The harvesters are big, but they have really small mouths. They can only do like 4 rows at a time, so that's going to keep me busy for quite a few episodes. I am going to try my hardest to keep it interesting while still making good time, because you only get 2 months to harvest anything in this game, and that translates to 2 days. I know it's kind of weird when you think about it, but it works for me. Like 1 in-game day is one month also. Because I'm using like half real time, so time isn't exactly passing quickly. Alright, let's get some fuel first. Because we're running on empty. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Alright. Fueling up. See, now the sensors on my pedals are kind of dirty, so it doesn't want to... It doesn't want to stay still at all. Like, it always wants to go. It always thinks I'm pressing the gas, which I'm not. Alright. So now, what we gotta do is we gotta go here and press maintenance, I believe. Right here. Oh man, repair. 20K. Oh well, worth it. Okay, let's see what does the meter do now. See, that's a lot better. So why is it not full yet? Well, because it also counts the trailer. So how bad is the trailer? See, that's half condition. Yeah, we're here anyway. Let's repair that too. See, that's a lot better. Oh, now I can feel it has more power as well. It's great. Yeah. Nice. I like my farm like this. It's like in the morning fog. So, long-term plan, let's talk about it. What we're going to do is we're going to empty that big bunker of silage over there that has the baler in it. You see that? That blue baler? Like that whole bunker, that's going to get emptied. Like I'm working on that right now, which is why this trailer, that trailer, and the semi-trailer were all filled with silage. I did that in an earlier session that I did not stream. Now, why are we emptying this bunker as well? Because we have some smaller bunkers down the hill, and like initially this bunker is here because I wanted to use the silage for a cow feed, but it is so large and taking up so much space that I want to get rid of this. I want to store my silage downhill in the smaller bunkers. Anything I'm missing I'll store in the biogas plant, which is over yonder. And then instead of this big silo, what's gonna happen is there's gonna be more vehicle storage space because I'm kind of running low on that at the moment. I can't really store my tractors, my trucks. You know, I want a home for my equipment, so that's what's gonna happen instead of the bunker, because that looks like a good place for it. You can just back up stuff in there, and I'll make it nice. I'll make a nice little garage with some solar panels on the roof, just like I have over there. Gonna be a nice little project. So now I got like 300,000 liters of silage to get rid of. So I'm bringing it all to these transfer stations, like the silo up there. It looks like a grain elevator, and it probably is a grain elevator. And then what you can do is you can store it there for an indefinite amount of time until you need some money. And then when you need some money, you call over the train and you fill up all the train cars with silage, and then that's like a $500,000 payout right there, because a train holds so much product. That's insane. So if you want to make it worth your while, like, you gotta fill up the train all the way, because renting the train costs you like $1,500. It's not a lot, but in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, there's an elevator here, and there's an elevator over there, also by the railroad. And they both hold a lot of silage. I don't know exactly how much, but a lot. And I've got the other one filled up right now, which is why I'm going here. And then when I need some money, I'll bring the train over and fill it up all the way with the silage that I've stored here. And then if I ever need any extra silage, then I can always come by with a trailer and load it up from here at the same place where I'm dumping it now. Oh my god. This isn't me why it stopped, by the way. Like, I didn't mess up. It's just the gearbox on this Volvo is really peculiar. But yeah, you see that little pipe that comes in through the ceiling right there? Like, that's where you can fill up. So I can dump it here through the little grate at the bottom. But I can also fill up. So if I ever need any silage and I still have some in store, I can always pick some up here. And yes, this also has a walking floor with a little barrier right there. See that? It just pushes it out. And this is how a walking floor works. See, it has 3 sets of plates. Like 3 sets of floor, basically. And it moves them all back at the same time. And then it pulls them forward one at a time. And because it's doing that, like, there's not enough force when it's pulling forward because it's only one slat at a time, right? And that allows it to pull back the slats from underneath the load without pulling the load back to the front. So then it keeps doing that until the thing's all empty. And then to really get all that last stuff, there's a little barrier that gets pushed back as well. It's a very nice system. I've worked with it in real life. I think we'll park the truck here for now. Keep it out of the way, you know. Here we go. Hope you guys are liking tonight's music. I'm also really hoping I don't get copyright striked again, because that was a pain to go through last time. So the stream worked out fine, right? But then YouTube said when it came to the rewatch, like usually it puts a video on the channel for me of the entire stream. And instead this time it said it was copyright, so it removed the whole video. Then I had to jump through some hoops to get it back up. It worked out. It's still there, but I'd rather not have to go through that again. Alright, so I just unhooked this little tractor from the grape trailer. That's the grape trailer right there. Because I had it all set up for the grape harvest, but it was still a little dark. And in the meantime, I had the wheel loader here, the big one. So I filled up the semi-trailer, I filled up the other trailer, and I filled up this trailer. So there wouldn't be as much silage left the next time I got started. So that's why there's a full little trailer of silage here, which we're going to go empty now. I just used everything that I had. Like, it was all nearby, so I figured, you know, might as well. I need to charge this thing now. This is an electric tractor. Battery powered. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. It's very strong for its size. I like how nice and quiet it is. And I also have an electric wheel loader. So if you guys remember the first stream, I don't know if you ever tuned in, but the first stream I did for this game a few weeks ago, I actually had this electric little tractor with the wagon, and then I had an electric mini wheel loader. So like the whole operation was emission free, which obviously it doesn't make a damn bit of difference because we're all in game and I'm not hurting anybody, but I just thought it was really cool that it's also possible in this universe. And keep in mind, this is all stuff that's in the vanilla game now. This is all, like, if you buy Farm Sim 22, you get the electric tractor and the electric wheel loader right out of the box. I think it's really cool that they're keeping up with modern inventions like that and including it in the game space. Keeps it very realistic and immersive, I think. See, then we're going to tip this. Little jump there. Did you see that? Stay still. There we go. Shaping up to be a beautiful day. So yeah, for the grape harvest, all I have to do is rent a harvester because those things are too expensive to just keep sitting around all day to only use them 1 month out of the year. All year, I mean. Wait, they're too expensive to keep sitting around all year while you're only using them for 1 month. So I rent it for, I don't know, 2 to 7,000. I forget how much, but it doesn't matter because then I harvest all the grapes, and I have quite a few now because I got the I got the expansion on the vineyard from whatchamacallit, from the other side of the road. So I'm expecting to have a big grape harvest this year, and all of those grapes are going to the processing unit, the grape processing plant, and we're going to use those, process them into raisins, and use those raisins for the cornflakes that we're making, the breakfast cereal. Now, and then there's going to be so much that we're not going to need them all, and then we're going to process the rest into grape juice, and that's going to be pure profit right there. Good plan, great plan. See, this is the electric wheel loader that I was talking about. We'll do one more load, and then we'll haul that, and that's going to be the end of the stream. That's why it's a short stream, because I'm kind of tired. Got work early in the morning, very early. Just grab a little bucket here. Forgot how fast this thing is. Here you go. Get the lights on, get some light going. We'll finish up this corner here first. Unfortunately, the large wheel loader is back at the biogas plant sitting there, looking pretty. Because I'm going to need it to scoop up the silage that I bring in, the chaff, the grass. And it's much better to have a large unit for that, because there's a lot of grass to move around. You kind of got to like bulldoze it uphill, if that makes sense. And this is just loading, so. This is like my electric wheel loader for the farm. It's like my general purpose loader. I use it for everything. Mainly moving pallets around, loading silage like this. And then often I also use it to make cow food. And I also use it to clear snow, if there's snow. Which is so therapeutic, by the way. I don't know if you've seen those episodes. Like, you should look for them, if you can, on my channel, if you want. But then, like, the whole farm is covered in snow. I've done that twice now, where it snowed and the whole farm is covered in snow. And then what I'll do is I'll grab this or a skid loader and I'll just clear the entire premises of snow. And it's so relaxing to do and to watch. I really like it. It's very satisfying. And then by the end, you know, it's all clean and you see all these big mounds of snow everywhere. And then if I'm quick enough and it's still winter, I can actually load it into trailers and haul it off somewhere. But I haven't done it yet. Typically I'm very busy. That might be a fun idea for a future video, though. I wonder if you could bale snow. Probably not. Oh, almost full here. A couple more scoops. That ought to do her. And we're going to bring that by. That's going to be our final load of the night. Hook that little baby tractor back up to the grape trailer. Get it all set up for the harvest again. And that's going to be streamed. I also don't really mind that I'm using a little loader for this. Makes it take a little longer, but that's okay, you know. We're not in a hurry. That's what you gotta understand about this game. You're not in a hurry when you play this, okay? Like you don't worry about time. You don't worry about anything else. You're just relaxing. You're working on your farm. It's okay, you know, it's peaceful. All you gotta do is take care of a couple of animals. They'll love you. You'll be happy. And there's always something to do here. There we go. That's it. put this over here. But yeah, look at this thing. I really like it. Nice and compact. And they even managed to get 2 seats in there. Actually, you can even attach a front loader to this. That's why it has that little moonroof over there. If you want, you can turn this into a loader. This little electric tractor. Isn't that cool? I like the baby equipment like that. I'm not opposed to using it at all. What I also really like is that little bandit looking tractor, the Mountie. It is slightly larger than this one, but it's also very compact. It's 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel steer, low center of gravity, and it's specifically designed to work on the Swiss and Austrian mountain hills, like the mountainsides, the steep hills with the rolling meadows that you see here as well. It's perfect for grass. I've got a little loader wagon attached to it, and it can also haul a baler. It's very quick. And also it is one of the most realistic hydrostatic vehicles that I've heard in this game so far. If you're not familiar with that, hydrostatic means it's not a traditional gearbox or drive system. It's not electromotors either, but it's similar. Hydrostatic means it uses hydraulic motors to power itself. So these are this is the drive mode that you'll find on mobile excavators, large industrial vehicles, wheel loaders, stuff like that. And the way that works is instead of having a gearbox and power gaps and stuff like that, instead of what it does, it'll just push hydraulic oil up against like a big pinwheel that's connected to the wheels, to the drive axle, and that'll push it forward. And that way you can always have constant power, and it'll have maximum torque at the start, and it'll get up to speed easy. So anyway, sound has always been a thing in Farming Simulator, where it wasn't entirely realistic, barely realistic I should say, but with these new gearboxes they added in this one, and sound of the hydrostatic drive with the classic whine and everything, it's very realistic. They really upped their game when it comes to sound. It's like my favorite new thing about this game. I'm thinking I might be able to do something with pallet storage. Make like a truck garage and pallet storage as well. Because right now, if I have pallets that are out in the open, and I need to store them as well, like the cow food, minerals, IBCs, big bags, stuff like that. Ready to go. Get the loader wagon hooked back up. feels so much more alive now that I've like fixed the engine and everything. You only notice that when it's coming back up. You never notice the health of it going down. It just sneaks up on you. Alright, that's the stream. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you Monday probably. Or this weekend. I might stream again. I'm not sure. Anyway, good night.